Hey guys, Danny Johnson here, and today we're changing the spark plugs on this 2.0 liter Ecoboost Ford Edge. You never want to perform this on a hot engine because of the aluminum cylinder heads. Just make sure that it's warm but not hot. If you are getting code P0302 for a cylinder misfire and you take the coil pack out, look to see if it has this crusty junk inside of it. You may have a cracked block, which is very common with these engines, unfortunately. So if that's why you're changing the spark plugs because you're getting a misfire, just know that there may be even more problems with this model. We're going to go ahead and we're going to pop the engine cover by lifting straight up on it. It just pops right off of the little nubs that it sits on. We're going to take a 13 millimeter socket and we're going to take out this stud here, and that's going to give us a little bit of wiggle room with our intake. With a 7 millimeter socket, we're going to take off this band here. We're just going to loosen the ones here on the intake. We're not going to take them off all the way, and that allows us to move this intake around without actually having to disconnect a lot of things. Now we're going to take some trash bags and put them over the intake so nothing gets in. Don't forget about them. We're going to take the lock and push it back on our coil pack, then pinch down and separate it. Next, we'll take our 8 millimeter socket and we're going to take the bolt off of the coil pack. So we just get back in there, and one of them is a little bit longer, so an 8 millimeter deep socket helps, where you see this one that has the stud that's on the top of it. So they're all the same size, but you might need the deep socket to get over that one for this coil pack here. And now you just pull that coil pack straight up and out, and then you can see the spark plug down in there. We did clean this all up in here, but this vehicle actually did have the cracked block and had to have an engine replacement. Okay, so now you're going to take a deep socket with a 5/8 inch spark plug socket. It has to be the spark plug one that has the rubber so it holds the spark plug in place. These are the plugs that we used. Now we put a tiny bit of anti-seize on the plugs. Some people say that you don't need any at all because the newer plugs somewhat have it. As we set this down in here with our 5/8 inch spark plug wrench, the same socket we used, it will hold the socket in place. I like to turn it backwards first, so counterclockwise, and then start threading it gently. That seems to help the threads line up. Now the torque spec on these is very light. Check your manual. There have been changes to it and all kinds of different ones for different vehicles. This one was about 7 or 8 foot-pounds, very light, basically hand tight. You don't want to tighten it too much or it can damage the threads and spit the spark plug out. We're going to put some spark plug boot protector. It's just some grease. It looks weird, but you're putting it right on that coil pack where it will contact the spark plug. Then we're coming in, we're putting the coil pack straight back down over the spark plug, and we're just tightening these down. So they are kind of tight to get it in there, but possible. And then just make sure once we're done with that, that we put our connectors back in and push that lock forward on the coil pack. Now you'll want to wiggle this intake back together on both sides. Now we can put our bolts back in just the way that we took them off, line up that intake so that it's straight, and tighten it down with the 7 millimeter socket. Once everything's tightened down, of course your bags have been removed. Just look for these little knobs here. This is where we're going to put our engine cover. It just sits right on top and you push it straight down. You can line it up over the oil fill cap and the oil dipstick. That's a good way to know that you're putting it in the right place, and then just push down. Check your coolant level. If it's low, you may have the cracked block. Thanks for watching. Please check the video description. I have other videos that are similar to this, and if you're new to the channel, feel free to subscribe. Thanks, guys.